Akilah, are you familiar with the Nelk Boys?
Of course not. I get laid regularly, so no. But I saw the clips. Okay.
Humble brag. And welcome back. You're listening to Hysteria, the podcast for people who are pretty sure that Trump is jealous of Beyonce. Gotta be. Anybody getting attention? Jealous. Anybody prettier than him? Jealous. Any black woman who's intelligent and good at what she does? Jealous.
Super jealous.
I want to bring in Hysteria fave Akilah Hughes, who is here this week filling the giant shoes of Alyssa Mastromonaco. Actually, I think her shoes are pretty small, but, hypothetical, theoretical shoes. Akilah, you have been busy since we've last seen you. You have a new podcast, How Is This Better, that just launched, which is awesome. I was binging some episodes the other day, and I was like, this rules. So, tell us about your new show.
Awesome. Okay, well, it is called How Is This Better from Courier. You can watch it on YouTube, wherever you get podcasts. And basically, I wanted to be able to do these deep dives into specific issues, but not take too much time. And so I think that, questioning all of the proposals for our future, whether it's just cultural proposals like being a trad wife versus being a career woman, or, this whole alpha male dunking your face in ice water at 4 a.m, or, more serious things like the ICE concentration camps, I felt like it was important to ask if these proposals were better than what already existed, because, we can talk till we're blue in the face about what's being proposed, but I think it's more interesting and important to question why we would choose to do these things in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love how you kind of find a little thread that connects different parts of culture and you pull on it and you're like, here's why we're doing this now. Here's what it was like before. I really loved the pro wrestling episode. Can I just say that was my favorite one? Can you talk a little bit about that episode just to tease for our listeners, because I really want people to go listen to it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the episode is about sort of treating our politics as wrestling, which the right has been doing for the better part of the past 2 decades. It's incredibly divisive and it's about getting attention, but I had a great interview with Josie Riesman, who wrote a profile, a book actually, about Vince McMahon. And so we were talking about this concept of kayfabe versus neo-kayfabe. And all of this is wrestling lingo, but the cliff notes are, kayfabe is the idea that you don't break character when you're in private. You're, if you see somebody coming and it's 2 wrestlers and they're supposed to hate each other, they continue to hate each other until you pass. And then they're phew.
Whereas Daniel Day-Lewising, in a way.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, they're character actors. They have to stay in character.
Sure.
And then there's the idea now of neo-kayfabe, which is sort of the era we're in, where it's okay, all of this could be fake except for maybe one true thing. We're not going to tell you what it is. And you sort of have to figure out how people really feel about things. And ultimately, the question we came to in our conversation was does it actually matter what's in these people's hearts? Do we need to know if they're good people, if the things that they're doing and saying are bad in public? And so I think it's just a really interesting way to examine the politics of today, because I also think that the left needs to get on board. We're still trying to practice this sort of, I think, Obama era, hope politic that is just if we just compel the hearts of these people, no. It's about attention. It's about dominating the news cycle. It's about all of those things. And we just haven't adapted. And so in that conversation, I think we got to a really good place of just seeing, the benefits of, I think, the sort of performative era we are in politics.
Mm-hmm. And looking through that lens of neo-kayfabe, has that helped you understand the Trump handling the Epstein thing better, or not?
Totally. I think so. I think the thing is it's funny because this is the first time I think in the history of Trump's career where he didn't seem to want any attention. Every time it's brought up, he sort of becomes a shell of himself. He's stop it. But there's so much evidence of Trump being friends with Epstein over the years that it is hard for him, I think, to perform the neo-kayfabe of I knew him in passing in Palm Springs. It's here he is at your daughter's birthday party. Here you are holding hands and kicking your feet at Coney Island.
Here's your half of the best friend's necklace that you kept in your diary with the sweet secrets toys that you stored away. It's so funny. That's that's an interesting way to look at this. I have this theory about the Trump Epstein thing. And now we're kind of getting into news, but I have this theory that So you and I live in a warm climate, right? If you're inside, if it's cooler inside than it is outside, you keep the windows closed, right?
Yeah.
If it's cooler outside than it is inside, you open the windows to let a breeze in. And I feel like that is a good way to kind of observe the way that Trump is handling this information. Like right now, whatever is outside of what we know is much hotter. Like he doesn't want to
Right.
He doesn't
He's
want to
like,
open
let's
the
just not.
Yeah, he doesn't want to open the windows. That breeze is going to feel like standing next to an open oven. Like he doesn't want to do it. And I just think it's just so simple. And everyone's like, well, they're going to try to lift an injunction and now they're going to court. And it's like, no, just if what is in the file is less bad than what we know,
right,
then release the file. Otherwise, we could just assume that whatever is in there is like pretty bad.
Yeah. Like, I mean, don't let me have an imagination. I'm imagining the worst case scenarios.
I hate that why do we have to imagine this? This is mean of him. Like, just get it out there. I'm tired of, I don't want to imagine stuff with you and Jeffrey Epstein. But
I also think, to your point, it's like, if there was nothing in there, and look, this is all conjecture, but if there was nothing in there, and I was innocent, I would be like, release it today.
Yeah.
Release it now. I want it to be on a readable format. I want it to be called, like, you know how they do all calls at schools where they call all the parents and they're like, we're off tomorrow. Like, I want a robocall reading out the entire Epstein files and be like, oh, yeah, okay, cool.
I think the president has the ability to, like, text everybody at the same time.
Yeah.
Just text it to me.
Text me the Epstein files.
Then everybody those, like, massive car crashes across the country at the same time. Some people are like driving and scrolling.
Yeah,
only the Waymos will survive, and then won't we feel silly?
Right, because only the people in the Waymos will be left.
Yeah. Well, maybe humanity should not repopulate if it's just Waymo people after the Epstein. Yes, after the Epstein massive car crash. What are some episode topics that you have coming up?
This Friday, we have an episode about the current media landscape and how a lot of media organizations are sort of bending the knee to Trump. Obviously, CBS to get their Skydance deal through, but also, sort of just the entire media landscape crumbling under this Republican presidency. We talk a little bit about NPR and how that defunding might shake out. But it's just a very, I think, specific time for independent media to rise, but also be well-funded. And so we kind of get into the weeds about all of that. And how is it better? The spoiler is it's not. I think we all know it's not better.
I was hoping this one would be better.
I know. They're pretty much never better.
Well, that was that. I can go ahead and delete my final question. Has anything gotten better? Okay. Now let's get to the news this week. There's a lot of dark stuff going on, but I would like to start the news with a little mini segment that I'm calling Well. You gotta use all the wells. Okay.
Yes.
It's always who you most expect. Okay. Fuckery originating in Texas, if you can believe it. Republican State Representative Giovanni Capriglione, the American Sign Language sign for that name is just this. He announced that he was dropping his re-election bid after admitting to an affair he had years ago. His mistress, however, had more sweet tea to spill. Exotic dancer Alex Grace claims that she had a 17-year affair with the representative, who I just want to pause real quick, Akilah, and point out that she is like objectively a hot lady, and he is objectively a mid-man. And
What's going on in Texas? The questions are what's going on in Texas.
Yeah, what's going on in Texas? So the affair started allegedly when she was pretty young, like young, of age, but close to not being of age.
Yeah,
she shared,
close to not.
Yeah, she shared intimate and gross details of their relationship, including a sexual fantasy of ejaculating into cookie batter for his daughter's bake sale. Okay. And then this is what she said, and making her meet up with him at a Chuck E. Cheese to collect a envelope of cash by a dumpster. The most damning details, though, is that he funded multiple abortions for her, which is, a problem because he was one of the authors of the Texas trigger law that banned all abortions in the state after Roe v. Wade fell, which doesn't seem well. So he denies all of these, really gross things adamantly. He admits to the affair. He's like, me and my wife are cool now after I had a 17-year affair with a stripper. It's like, I'm sure you're cool. She is growing some poisonous plants in the garden, buddy.
Yeah.
The announcement
for the divorce is imminent. Evidence.
He's going to get Paxtoned eventually.
Yeah.
Anyway, he denies the abortion allegations, the other nasty details, but I don't know if we have any, like, I don't know. Do you believe him? Who do you believe in this story, Akilah?
Well, I don't believe the person who's been hiding the affair. I'll just lead on that. If this guy he's like, I lied about a bunch of stuff, but not this also. I also just don't see the benefit to her. Like, I mean, maybe he would pay her to stop talking, but I just honestly feel like, well, this is within his character. Like, it seems like everything that we have seen from him, if it's like restricting women's rights, lying to the woman he's supposed to be like married to for 17 years is wild. Like, that's actually your girlfriend. Like,
that's a common law. You have like, you're common law polygamist. You are like common law married at that point. To another person.
Right. So I'm like, I mean, I just think after this, look, he could be telling the truth, but who cares? Again, let's go back to the kayfabe of it all. Like, I think we know what's in his heart. I don't think we need to, like, she could tell me anything and I'd be like, I believe it.
Yeah. You know, the thing, I was thinking about this and, like, I've been thinking a lot about, like, disinformation and misinformation and how, like, it comes through both like sides ideologically, right?
Yeah.
And this is a sort of information, this is a story that I read and I'm like, yeah, oh, of course, of fucking course, right? But like I don't want to like pour cold water on it, but I do want to like step back and have like a healthy degree of skepticism because he's threatening to sue the publication that did the interview with his former mistress. And I feel like if you're telling the truth, you're not actually going to follow through with like, if she's telling the truth, he's not actually going to follow through with a lawsuit.
Why do you think that? Because
the truth
didn't
is
Donald Trump just sue Wall Street Journal for $10 billion? And they're like, here he is again with the book.
Yeah. But he's not Donald Trump. I don't think he doesn't got the sauce. He can't just like threaten to sue and have people be like, ah! Like, I feel like if she is telling the truth, then like, he won't actually sue because the truth is defense. And then it's going to become part of like public record. And but
also what does he want in the public record?
Right, exactly. But I also like was kind of looking into him, and he, apart from regulating women's bodies, he has been involved in like writing laws regulating the tech industry in Texas. And so there's a part of me that's like, is there some like moneyed interest in the tech industry that would be willing to support something like this? Again, just adding some healthy skepticism to a story that I'm like, whenever a story is like so good that I'm like, yes, hook it up to my veins, I have to like stop myself before I like go on a 3-day bender about it.
It's true. Yeah.
I feel like it's like, but then I was thinking about it again and I was like, man, isn't it fucked up that like I expect people to be outraged enough about tech regulation to possibly try to do a rat fuck? Yeah. But they won't be as upset about female body regulation to do a rat fuck. Anyway. Okay, so here's another really great entry under the well headline. Oklahoma State Superintendent of Public Instruction and verified religious wacko Ryan Walters has quite an insane person resume. Akilah, you're familiar with him, right?
Yeah. He's very outspoken. It appears that he wants to eventually moonlight on Fox News. He's doing his videos. They're pretty high quality, you know, like video-wise. I mean, but like it's mostly just the same old hits. He hasn't really innovated in the space of being like a fascist.
Right. He's a cover band. He's a Donald Trump cover band.
He's like a tribute band to Donald Trump.
Yeah, who is himself a tribute band to Benito Mussolini, 100%. But in English.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't know that, but like, you know, real ones do. So Ryan Walters is quite a piece of shit. Since he took office in 2023, he's appointed far-right activist Chaya Raichik, who is aka Libs of TikTok, who is a mentally unwell woman who has become famous by sicking mobs against people that she deems woke. She's only been to Oklahoma like twice, like not many times, but she was appointed.
I feel like I've been to Oklahoma twice. Like,
it's hard to not.
No one's seeing me as a representative of anything there.
Yeah, it's hard to not go to. I try to avoid going to Oklahoma, and I accidentally. You have to go through. It's in the middle. Eventually, you just
it
like
is the middle.
Right. So yeah. Anyway, she's been appointed to the Oklahoma Library Advisory Board. He's advocated teaching the Christian Bible in public schools. He was a real asshole when 16-year-old non-binary Owasso high school student Nex Benedict died. He was really awful about that. He requested teachers play a video of him praying for the president-elect Donald Trump against his. It's like he's just he's fucking weird.
I don't want to see my principal praying. I just want to put that out there. I don't care. Those are your prayers for a reason.
There's like a whole. I mean, like what? I'm not like into God or anything, but like there's a whole verse in the Bible that's like, hey, when you pray, you should shut the door and like do it quietly because like that's the whole. Like, why are you doing it? If you want people to see you doing it, then you're not really doing it for God. But whatever.
Because he's not.
He's not doing it for God. He's doing
he's
it
not
for
there
clout.
Yet. Okay, he's at the opening credits. He's still reading the table of contents.
Oh my God! You know what it reminds me of? What did Leah call Kenny from Love Island yesterday? A clout goblin?
Yeah,
or something like
he's
that?
a little bit of a
clout
demon.
Demon. He's a clout demon.
For sure.
Oh my God, Leah, bless you. So he also, in July of this year, announced an anti-woke test developed in partnership with Prager University, which teaches for teachers that are moving to Oklahoma from blue states that will assess whether or not they are too woke to teach in Oklahoma. Oklahoma, by the way, 50th out of 50 states in education. So he's doing a great job.
Not laughing at them. I'm laughing with them.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so I just wanted to this is a long wind up because I just think that the delivery is just much more sweet if you are it's fresh in your mind. Yeah. On Friday, this is from an NPR affiliate in Oklahoma. On Friday, board members Ryan Dethridge and Becky Carson told Non-Doc and the Oklahoman that during an executive session of Thursday's State Board of Education meeting, they witnessed images of nude women on a TV in Walters' office. According to the reports, Carson demanded the television be shut off. Walters struggled to turn it off, but did not address or apologize once it was off. Dethridge told Non-Doc Walters should be held accountable, noting if he was treated like any other teacher, we would probably pull his teaching certificate and put him on his own list. A third board member was present, but he had his back to the TV and confirmed that Walters turned it off and appeared shaken when he'd done it. So he was caught watching some naked on his TV during a board meeting. He has responded by calling it a conspiracy, blaming the governor, and looking guiltier than I think I could look had I attended a class on how to look guilty. Akilah, what do you make of this story? Does any of this surprise you?
Okay, so I'm never surprised. I'm never surprised by the audacity of people who would make their horrible beliefs so publicly known. It's never surprising that, this is what they would do. I think what is shocking is that, it was in, the Board of Education is a part of, the education system. You shouldn't be doing that at work anywhere, but it's this is kids. You're talking about kids all day, and you got naked women on the TV. So, I think my immediate response is, it's beyond the hypocrisy, right? There's a level of hypocrisy that is expected that people have sort of deemed across the board. They just don't care about hypocrisy anymore. What's worse, though, I think, is just sort of the shamelessness of his other worse arguments when he can't even control himself at work. And to lie. It's I think that I hate this era of politics we're in because Donald Trump has just ushered in the worst liars. The truth is, I wouldn't care if he was had a good lie. I slipped and fell on a banana peel and then the remote hit the TV and it happened to be turned to that Baywatch channel. Fine. Fine. Yeah. But it's he's not even trying to come up with the lies. They're just trying to smear me. I'm it seems like a really easy thing to just say you did or didn't do.
Yeah.
They don't have to smear you. You're bad enough.
It could have been I've been having some problems with the TV. I have no idea why that was on. Right. Instead
we were all surprised.
But instead it's I've never seen anybody more the phrase gooner.
Yes. God.
He's
the phrase gooner.
He is so goonery.
He was gooning at work.
He's been gooning. I feel that's the only way that you accidentally have porn on your TV at work.
I agree.
Even
it's his goon cave, and he's not being honest about it.
The Oklahoma Gooners.
Yes. Honestly, if they made T-shirts, I'd send them one.
I would wear one. I want Oklahoma Gooners. That is Ryan Walters. Congratulations on really, really breaking new barriers in hypocrisy and ridiculousness. But you know what? I kind of like, along with the whole like wrestling thing we were talking about, he's really like playing the heel. He's like, it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, they're against me.
But like the governor, originally appointed him, I believe. Like the current governor of Oklahoma originally appointed him. So like, why would the governor care?
Right. And the school board is not especially progressive. They're not trying to oust him. Like, he's been there and he's stayed there, and the things that he's proposed have been implemented. Like, it's not like, I mean, if they were lying in wait, you'd think they'd have a better excuse than the TV was on. Like, that just seems like it's true. Like, that's just what happened.
Yeah. I've got to say, though, in the age of Epstein, at least they were full-grown adult women.
Yeah, actually, you gotta hand it to you. Don't have to hand it. I'm handing it back to myself.
Oh boy. Hysteria is brought to you by Lola Blankets. What I love to do is lie down and be underneath a blanket. That is my favorite thing. Lie down, be underneath a blanket, put on a TV show that I've already watched a million times. 30 Rock is on the list. There's a couple others on the list of rewatchables. Detroiters. Under a blanket watching Detroiters, maybe eating some cheese. Really, Liz Lemon has permeated every aspect of my life. Well, that is why I love Lola Blankets. Lola is the world's #1 blanket, crafted with ultra-soft, luxury vegan faux fur and a signature 4-way stretch that sets it apart. It's machine washable, double hem for durability, and stays flawless. No pilling, no shedding, even after repeated washes. One Lola instantly elevates your space. It's so soft, beautifully designed, and makes your home feel cozy and curated. I first started seeing Lola ads on Instagram, and now I feel like I see it everywhere. Lola is my go-to gift. It's personal, beautiful, and something people actually use every day. Lola has over 10,000 5-star reviews, and once you feel it, you'll know why. There's a reason it's called the world's #1 blanket. This thing is next level. Lola Blanket has also collabed with a number of amazing designers, but you've got to move fast. These drops always sell out. It comes in a range of sizes. I have the large. It's perfect for cozying up solo or with someone else. XL is massive. They call it the biggest blanket on the internet. Cover your entire house with it. I don't know. Try it and tell me how much of your house you can cover. Send me pictures. That'd be fun. Lola also makes weighted blankets for calming therapeutic vibes. I love the feeling of a weighted blanket. I gotta say, nothing calms me down more than that besides being asleep. Don't miss the matching pillows. They look amazing and you save when bundling. For a limited time, our listeners are getting a huge 35% off their entire order at lolablankets.com by using code HYSTERIA at checkout. Just head to lolablankets.com and use code HYSTERIA for 35% off. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola Blankets. Hysteria is brought to you by Amnesty International USA. Look, here's the thing. If you're fired up and ready to fight back against cruel anti-human rights policies like Trump's mass deportation campaign, which violates due process, separates families, and puts people in danger, Amnesty International is right there with you.
For over 6 decades, Amnesty International has been on the front lines of protecting human rights from bullies and bad guys. Amnesty International doesn't take a dime from governments for their campaigning and research. That means they're independent and they speak truth to power, no matter who's in charge. So if you believe in truth, accountability, and not letting Trump-style cruelty slide, head to amnestyusa.org/help. Your donation is tax deductible, and right now it'll be triple matched. That's amnestyusa.org/help.
Okay, moving on. The MAGA coalition is going to be put to the test in the South Carolina Republican primary. Mm-hmm. This is going to be delicious.
Interesting.
Paul Dans, one of the architects of Project 2025, announced that he will be running against Lindsey Graham, who has, humiliated himself on the altar of Trumpism. Trump has already endorsed his longtime ally Graham, but Dans claims that he is the more MAGA candidate of the two. Akilah, are the girls fighting?
The girls are fighting. And honestly, I've always thought that this is how it would end. I figured that, I wrote a blog post at the beginning of the year that was like, sometimes the check engine light goes off on its own. Mm-hmm. And that is my philosophy for all of it. Things might be messed up. But I think that, they will fight. Someone will come out on top. But ultimately, this diminishes, I think, the MAGA movement ultimately. The fact that they can't be on the same page, they can't rally around just one person. They're all clawing for power. it also doesn't bode well for, like, look, Trump isn't going to live forever. And I'm not wishing him ill, even though, like, if it happens, so come sit by me. I got some jokes. But I'm just saying, like, this man is not going to live forever. And they don't have a successor. He's already said J.D. Vance isn't next. And so I'm like, right, you've created a bunch of, like, just a hive of narcissists who are all clawing for an ounce of power, trying to appease the president, not the country. And so I think that there's going to be this, like, lifting of the veil, and, like, it actually is going to kill their power source. Like, I don't see any of them rising to the ranks that Trump was able to, simply because, like, none of them are likable. None of them have been famous for 50 years. And also, like, Lindsey Graham was not popular. He's just, like, unfortunately undefeated. Like, that's
he is just a real Olympian suck up. Like, he sucks up to whoever he needs to suck up to. And, like, I really think I don't want to see one of the architects of Project 2025 in the Senate, but, like, what difference would it make? Like, what difference would it make? Lindsey Graham is already completely capitulating to the entire Project 2025 agenda. So what difference does it make if, like, I would be less likely to want to sit next to one of them on an airplane? You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
totally.
I would, if Lindsey Graham was sitting next to me on an airplane, I'd probably get a kick out of him. I feel like John McCain liked him. You know, there's got to be something fun about him. You know, we could gossip.
Listen, I'd like to sit next to him after he loses to this guy.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Be like, oh, that's a tough break. You sold your soul in for what? I would just talk at him for hours. I hope we're going to Hawaii. We need 10 hours from South Carolina. I'll be like, in another thing, Lindsey. And something came to me in the bathroom. Can you believe that you lost? And for what? Your flying coach. Next to me.
Oh my God. I mean, I think that, it would be a fitting end for him to end of his political career to be, like, primaried out.
Yeah. I love that. Honestly, because I actually agree a lot with what you're saying about, like, what is the actual difference? Because I think that, like, maybe the benefit, if there's any silver lining here, is also that, like, this other person is not a legislator. Like, doesn't have necessarily the ability to sway real votes. Like, has money, but, like, we already saw Elon fail to, like, flip elections with his money. So I think that, like, you know, they might even be more of a lame duck in the Congress. So it's like, it's kind of fine.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that it's just, like, at least if there's somebody who is bad at politics, who's, like, not a politician, they will not be as effective as a legislator. I mean, I feel like, whatever. I completely agree with you. And I think, like, you know what? You really hate to see it, you know?
Yeah.
Darn.
Hate to see it. Darn, you know?
All right. This next story, when I read it, Akilah, sometimes, like, when I read a news story, I feel like the universe is taking, like, a cup of dice, and each dice has, like, the name of a random influencer or, like, a random politician or a random celebrity, and it just shakes, and then, like, the first three that come out, you're like, okay, there's a news story about Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry. They're on a date. You know, like, what the fuck? Here's another one that was like, oh, okay, what a weird shake of the dice. Candace Owens is being sued for defamation in the U.S. by Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron. This is in response to Owens' crusade to transvestigate the First Lady of France in an 8-part podcast series. So Candace is...
Once wasn't enough.
An 8-part podcast series accusing the First Lady of France of being, having been born a male, having been born a male. Owens perpetuated a theory that Brigitte is actually a man named Jean-Michel Trogneux. In reality, that's her older brother. He exists.
He's just a guy. He's sitting next to her like, I'm confused.
He's a separate guy. They did not divide like amoeba after...
She's just standing behind him in one picture, and she's like, do you see this?
Oh, my God.
It's so bad.
The lawsuit said evidence clearly disproved this grotesque narrative, which had become a campaign of global humiliation and relentless bullying on a worldwide scale. Candace Owens, you got some splaining to do. Candace has doubled down on her claims, saying that they are more likely to stage Brigitte's death than go into discovery.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't think so. I'm going to just offer that I doubt that. But
yeah. What do you make of Candace Owens' like YouTuber podcaster arc? Like, why is it working? Why is she getting so much more popular? Like, she's crazier than ever.
I think that you answered your own question. I think she's crazier than ever. I think we're at a point in the internet, honestly, where like if you don't have an outlandish claim, no one cares what you have to say. Like we're all just like carnival barkers on the street now trying to get attention. And so Candace Owens has gotten really good at that. I mean, it's clear that she wanted to do a one-part episode, and then people were like, I love this dumb conspiracy. And she just kept coming up with ideas because also, like, think about this. It's a podcast. And I don't think her podcast is, like, necessarily edited or anything.
No,
like, I think
it's
kind
not.
of a long-running sort of like Joe Rogan sort of like witchcraft where you just kind of get hypnotized by how long it's been going on.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's been
it's like
meandering
being
for...
caught like in a waiting room next to somebody who won't shut up.
Right. So imagine 10 hours of that. I'm like,
hours.
I think that she's honestly just, she's trying to feed a beast because it's how she pays her bills. And I think that this is sort of maybe the end game for all of these kinds of podcasters, like the Alex Jones route, where it's like, I'm going to go all in on this very dumb theory and try to sell my supplements alongside it. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, I hope I don't get sued out of a job, but I will. And I think for her, she's going to have a much harder time coming back. Like, I think that she's, I don't follow her career very closely. I'm not a fan. But I think that, like...
That's surprising.
I know. But the majority of the year has been, her trying to find her footing. She's, like, kind of in the Epstein of it all, right? Like, she's sort of not with Trump on it. It's kind of affecting her audience. And so I think that she's trying to figure out where she can fit in this weird right-wing landscape. Because also, she's not like a white dude on steroids. So she's not getting those numbers. She's got to find people who are like, you are credible to me in one way. And I think a black woman shitting on other women, unfortunately, can be a popular podcast idea. But I think that she will, frankly, rue the day. And I look forward.
I mean, like, you and I have both seen this film before too. Like, there is an arc, and it's always like a woman like gloms onto a fundamentally misogynist like ideology to be their sort of like, to be a smoke screen. Yeah, like a pick-me smoke screen, right?
Yeah.
And the second that she's not useful to that ideology anymore, or the second that she's inconvenient to somebody more important than her, she is dumped.
Out of there. Yeah.
And, like, there are some people that make it, all the way to the finish line. Megyn Kelly, I believe in you, girl. But, like, for the most part, those people are, like, the exception, not the rule. Yeah. And, like, I can just see, I think that your point about, like, people just saying absurd shit until they get sued. And then, like, what Alex Jones did when he lost that giant lawsuit was, like, allegedly squirrel away as much money as he possibly could to avoid paying the lawsuit. So, like, I feel like that there's a path of, like, get as much money as possible, saying as much crazy shit as possible, squirrel the money away so when you finally inevitably lose a lawsuit, you can, like, eventually kind of, like, crawl back to it quietly and live a like McMansion life in Indianapolis for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? You're not going to be famous anymore, but you're going to be comfortable and you won't need money. And like, I don't know. I feel like you're getting sued by the head of a major American ally. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so what if this, how like we go back to that guy getting shot? Who's the one, World War I, the Duke?
Oh, Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah, Franz Ferdinand. Is this going to be our Franz Ferdinand moment for World War III? Is like, enough. Enough. Someone has to put down an American podcaster because they just wouldn't let it go. And I'm like, I wouldn't put it past the idiotic times we're living in. Like, I feel like the implications may be much larger than we're even thinking.
I hate how intelligent that point is, because it's like, oh my God, our Franz Ferdinand moment is going to be something so fucking dumb.
Deeply stupid.
Because like, there's going to be like, if humanity exists in like 100 years, their Dan Carlin is going to put together a like 10-hour series that like assigns gravitas to the career of Candace Owens.
Yeah. Like as if it mattered. Like as if we weren't just shitting on her on a different podcast.
Hysteria is brought to you by Honeylove. Alyssa, guess what I'm doing in a couple weeks? I'm not going to be specific about what day. I'm going to the Magic Castle. Yeah, it's a thing. Whoa. It's a thing in LA. I guess you have to be invited. I don't know the specifics. I have not.
That is, even I know what that is.
Yeah, I mean, it got made fun of on Arrested Development, but I still want to go, and I'm really excited that I'm going to get to go, but they have like a dress code, right? And this is going to be the first time in a really long time. Yeah, this is going to be the first time in a long time that I've like gotten dressed up So
What are you going to wear?
Honey Love. And then a dress on top of it. But like I'm going to wear Honey Love underneath because like I just feel better, more confident, and like everything is where it needs to be when I wear Honey Love. Also, it's comfortable. So,
Yeah.
you know, win-win-win. It's like getting a flattering hug that you can
You're going to be put together.
I'm going to be put together. Summer is here, and you know what that means. It's time for breezy dresses, bold colors, the magic castle, and
Always.
all the effortlessly cool looks you've been waiting to wear. Whether you're heading to rooftop brunches, garden parties, or just soaking up the sun in your favorite sundress, let's talk about what's underneath because the right shapewear can make all the difference.
Today's episode is brought to you by Honey Love, the brand redefining modern shapewear with real comfort and serious support. And their newest innovation, Mesh Sculpt, is the ultimate summer shapewear. Usually, lightweight shapewear doesn't offer much hold, and strong shapewear is very heavy. But Mesh Sculpt changes all that. It's breathable and lightweight without sacrificing its power. It keeps you cool while still delivering the sculpted silhouette you want. Honey Love's targeted compression smooths and shapes exactly where you want it to and eases up where you don't. It works with your body, not against it. Plus, thanks to flexible boning on the sides, it stays in place. No rolling, no shifting, no awkward adjusting mid-conversation. The rolling is always such a problem with me. Not with Honey Love, of course.
Oh,
just
yeah. I hate
other brands.
Any rolling. I'm just like, get the
You
fuck
get the
off
roll.
my body.
You feel it. You've had
hate
it on
it.
for an hour, and it starts rolling down, and you get that roll line, which is embarrassing. With lingerie-inspired details, Honey Love pieces are meant to be seen. So whether you're dressing up for a night or just feeling yourself in your go-to sundress, Honey Love has your back, your curves, and your comfort covered all season long.
And here's the best part. For a limited time, you can save 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link, honeylove.com/hysteria. Support the show and enjoy your summer by checking them out at honeylove.com/hysteria. Treat yourself to the most comfortable shapewear on earth and save 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/hysteria. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off, honeylove.com/hysteria. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Experience the new standard in shapewear with Honey Love.
Hysteria is brought to you by Ritual. Erin, do you always get your vegetables?
Yes, because I'm growing them now.
Fuck, that's so cool.
I know. I mean, honestly, you want me to give you some kale? I got a bushel of every single day. I go outside. I'm like, how?
Do you have a hat with a tomato on it?
No, but I should. I should have a hat with a tomato on. But like during the winter, it's a little bit tougher because like
Yeah, up here for sure.
the greens aren't greening as much, if you will.
Well, Erin, Ritual's Essential for Women 18 and Over multivitamin isn't exactly a salad in a pill, but it is formulated to help you fill key nutrient gaps that you might not be getting enough from your diet.
Ooh, you know what I like about Ritual?
Tell me.
Like, not only is it just a simple way to take care of a bunch of things that I need all at once. Like, I don't like having to, my husband takes like a bunch of different pills. Like, and he has the big, like, and he like puts them all in his like little case every week. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Really?
I'm a lazy person. I just want to take one. I just want to
You're a lazy pill popper.
I'm a lazy pill popper. Yeah. That's probably why I've never had a pill problem because I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to open another thing. What I love about Ritual is that it takes care of so many of my needs in just 2 pills a day, and it tastes minty. It's just one bottle to be sitting on my shelves. I don't need to have any more clutter. It also is effective. Ritual conducted a university-led clinical trial for their Essential Women 18 and Over multivitamin to assess its efficacy, and the results were pretty encouraging. It increased vitamin D levels by 43% and omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in just 12 weeks.
This is true, Erin, because I actually have had 4 years a vitamin D deficiency. And when my levels were tested, my vitamin D was up, and I have been taking Ritual.
Amazing. Well, there you
Who
go.
knew?
Anecdata from Alyssa Mastromonaco.
That's me.
Ritual's essential third-party tested for heavy metals and Clean Label Project certified, so you know you can trust what you're putting in your body. They are vegan, non-GMO, project verified, gluten and major allergen-free, and made traceable.
Instead of striving for perfect health, aim for supporting foundational health. Get 25% off your first month only at ritual.com/hysteria. Start Ritual or add Essential for Women 18 and Over to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/hysteria for 25% off.
Oh, speaking of idiots in over their heads on podcasts. So, situation in Gaza right now, absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. Has been horrendous for a long time. Has been obviously horrendous for a long time, and Israel has obviously been trying to minimize and lie about what they have been doing deliberately to the people of Gaza for a long time. It is disgusting. And right now, in the last few weeks, we have come to a point where the Gazans are on the precipice of a full-on famine.
Yeah.
Famine. Children are starving to death. So, what did a pair of Canadian prank YouTubers do? They interviewed Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. Akilah, are you familiar with the Nelk Boys?
Of course not. I get laid regularly, so no. But I saw the clips. Okay?
Humble brag.
Very alive bedroom in my life. And so, frankly...
Okay, good for
passing.
you. First of all, I love this for you. Secondly, I was sort of familiar with them because I listened to their interview with J.D. Vance when I was prepping to write the J.D. Vance episode of This Fucking Guy. And I was shocked. The first thing I did was Google their ages, and I was shocked to discover that they're in their 30s. They're
I know, they look
professional
weird.
prank boys in their 30s. They did this interview with Netanyahu that was like obviously an attempt by the government of Israel to like reach the Nelk Boys audience, which was ostensibly important to the Trump victory and the rightward shift of American men, despite the fact that these guys are Canadian and randomly will drop in a boot when they're talking, and it's very funny. So they did this interview, and I gotta say, they are dumber than a bowl of sperm. Just two, like, eyes like broken taillights. Just complete fucking
The middle
dumbasses.
distance is where their eyes last. Just nothing behind the eyes.
It is so shockingly bad. It was so shockingly bad, this interview, that their listeners in the comments were savaging them. They were like, what are you doing? They asked them questions like, okay, so, like, I've been reading on, like, X and, like, whatever, like, stuff about, like, I don't know, like, being, like, not good to, like, people in Gaza. So, like, what do you say about that? Like, that's literally not that much of a parody. That's how they speak as human beings. They are two men in their 30s.
Yeah.
They have receding hairlines.
They have
One
a
wears
prank
a hat.
podcast.
They got
where they're
famous
talking
doing
to
pranks.
the propagator of a genocide. Just an aside, I feel like someone needs to make, and maybe it's me, you know, Mike Judge, if you're listening, someone needs to make like a prequel to Idiocracy about like this decline, because this is clearly like a major moment in that decline. Like, why? I mean, I'm curious as to why he thought that would be a cool podcast to go on. I also hate that they're doing podcasts. I think that like podcasts are beneath heads of state, and like we're in a really bad time when people are like cutting it up.
I feel like people who listen to that sort of podcast do so because they want to retreat from the news and live in their fake little world of denial. And there are specific newsmakers who have understood that that's the only way to reach those people is to poke themselves in. But if too many of them poke their way in, then those places will be places that listeners flee because they want to avoid the news. That's why people got so mad when Kamala Harris did call her daddy, because they were like the reading the comments, they were like, I don't want to listen to politics, and it's like, all right, like you have a uterus, like it affects you. It's like
you kind of have to listen to it sometimes, guys. I'm so sorry.
Right,
Take
like
your
democracy is a participation. You need to participate. You get democracy, but in exchange, you need to like know enough. You need to like participate. But people are like so turned off by it that they like try to flee it. And the Nelk Boys is one of the places they flee to. I like listened to some of the interview and then I was like, this is horrible. I would like to see these guys get yelled at. And of course, because they're YouTubers, there's a video of them sort of getting yelled at by other I went so far down this. I went into a corner of YouTube that is not made for me. I am not the target demo. But it was like Adam Friedlander and Hassan Piker were like yelling at the Nelk Boys, and here's some
like tail between their legs.
Well, they were just like you said, Akilah, like mid-distance stare, like slack-jawed. One of them took a couple hits of a vape.
Oh
like,
my lord!
It was like not looking cool.
So dumb.
Looking dumb. There's like pictures, like the picture of them. I think American Prospect. There was a magazine that did, or Foreign Policy, had a piece that came out this week that was like the rise of the idiot interviewer. Yeah. And the picture they used for it was one of the Nelk Boys like wearing a suit, and he truly looked like he was attending a 30-year-old man having a bar mitzvah. Yeah. So anyway, so here's some quotes from that video of like Hassan and Adam Friedlander yelling at them. Here's things that they said. Sure, we're not the best at asking questions. We're not the best journalists. Okay.
You're not journalists. You're not journalists.
That's why we need...
Pranks are not journalists. I need to hold someone's hand and sit down to a piano track and be like, I know that you think that this is a career. It's not.
You are not
career.
A journalist.
You put like a fake snake under a chair. Like that's what you do. Whoopee cushions is your peak. You don't ask heads of state questions.
I mean, yeah, they have the brains are smoother than whoopee cushions for sure.
Yeah.
They also defended having him on the podcast by saying people go into podcasts to promote whatever they're doing. Whatever they're doing. What
do you think he's promoting, guys? Into the microphone. What do you think Benjamin Netanyahu's promoting right now? What do you think he's up to?
We're not the best at grilling guests. We never claim to be super educated on this topic. Okay.
Or any topic.
Don't do the interview. Like, I feel like people don't understand in this age of like the podcasting Wild West. Journalism is a profession and a discipline, right?
Yeah.
Like podcasts kind of blur the line. Like you sit down and you talk to people and sometimes you press them or whatever. But like journalism has a specific set of rules that you have to follow. Yeah. And like one of those rules is like you don't sit down with a person that's being accused of genocidal acts against an entire, like millions of people. You don't sit down with them and say like, you know, it's like, how do you like your hamburger? Like,
are you enjoying the weather here in Canada today?
Like, I love the nightlife in Tel Aviv. They're really nice. Oh, wow.
Wow. Sick.
Wow.
You're a moron.
Sick. 100%. Sick. That's another Nelk Boys number. Sick. 100%. Guys, I like also, my brain like zooms out when I get overwhelmed by how stupid something is. And like, I try to see, I'm like, oh, young men are falling behind. Like these boys, these 31-year-old, 32-year-old boys would be like stupid in a freshman college class when I was in college. Like they would be the dumb 18-year-olds. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, is this really, this is like the way that men relate to each other? Like, holy shit.
It's rough. It's like such a damning reality. It's like none of these people have a standard. I mean, listen, there was a moment where I was like, is it maybe they got COVID a bunch more times than we know? And so like their brains are just oozing out their ear. People are dumber, they're listening. I don't know exactly. But it is like seeing the slide so quickly in our lifetime, like I don't feel like I am old and I am not technically old. So it is weird that like the decline has been off a cliff. Like, I used to believe in some men. And the thing is, I don't even dislike men. I'm just like, I believed in them. And now I see this. I don't know anymore.
It is
I just don't know anymore.
I really think that men that are trying to better themselves have a real opportunity to become like alpha males by a country mile. Like if you are in any way remotely trying to become emotionally intelligent. If you read one book this year.
If you read one book this year.
To completion. If you
not
have
clip notes and didn't ask ChatGPT what it meant, sat with your thoughts and pondered what it means.
If you listened to the Nelk Boys interview with Benjamin Netanyahu and you had some pushback ideas, then you're doing better.
Lean into that. Don't go back to just acting like it's fine. Don't go to another third-rate podcast just like that with two dudes with bad haircuts who really wish they were just in the wild, like putting saran wrap on a toilet seat. Like, focus up.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sorry. Like ever since I listened to that, there have been two voices, and the second voice that I've like can't stop doing now that I've been hearing them, and one of them is like my dumb podcaster voice, like 100%. Yeah. Tight. No cap.
For real, yeah.
For real. Okay.